this is a typical normal country road. It's not in the forest, so it's reasonably wide and quite clean, and it's well maintained. So they're a pleasure to actually go on these roads. There's not so many potholes or anything like that. And as I said before, it's a weekday, so there's basically no traffic. So it's like my own private road. The bike's done almost 1,000 kilometers now, and it's more than 1,000 kilometers, 1,500 kilometers, and the brakes are well and truly bedded in, very nicely bedded in, and they pulls up very nicely when you have to apply the brakes quickly. It would have been very nice to have motor braking, dynamic braking, programmable dynamic braking on this bike for the DC motor, or AC motor I should say, sorry. But it doesn't give you that option, so yeah, it's a shame really. You could have different levels, sort of, for example, off or level 1, level 2, level 3 you could actually use on a rainy day to help you assist braking for engine braking, motor braking. So I don't quite understand why they didn't design that in. It's quite easy to do. Another nice feature that they could have incorporated was field weakening, magnetic field weakening in the motor, so that you could get more top speed out of the bike. And again, you can make it programmable at various weakening levels, but again they didn't do that. So it's sort of, I don't really understand, you know, something so simple to do, they didn't do it. Yeah, it's a real shame. I know hub motors aren't as good when you work as well when you're weakening the field in a hub motor as opposed to a main central base motor, but still, it's better than nothing. Okay, so we're coming up into the forest road now, and so it narrows down a little bit. So we just have to make sure that I use the curved mirrors to make sure there's no cars coming the other way sometimes. And I'm not straining the bike whatsoever. It's easily managing around these corners and up these little, just gentle slopes I would call them. They're not very steep hills. So it's quite nice. I'm not moving my grip, it's sort of staying in one position, and that's enough for everywhere, up, down, going around the corners, so it's quite manageable. Nice and cool now next to this river. It's probably 23 degrees, I would say. It's like air conditioning, it's beautiful. If you enjoy riding through forest roads, this is definitely the bike for you because it's so quiet. You can hear everything. You can hear the water in the river. You can hear the waterfall running down. You can hear birds in the trees. You can hear the wind blowing through your face, on your face and through your clothes. It's very, very nice. Person's pulling over for me, very kind of them, thank you. I know some people have complained about the tyres on this Super Soco, the factory tyres, but I haven't had any issues with them. They've been quite nice. The grip is reasonable. We're just going through the tunnel now. I'll just put on my high beam. As you can see, this tunnel is very, very narrow. It's basically just the bike. If another car comes, it'll be quite narrow, I think, to pass. Okay, so here we are outside the tunnel. So from this point on, I don't expect to be using much battery power. Just cruise around here. The suspension is still quite stiff. It is getting better, but it's still very stiff, especially the back. I have adjusted the preloading and that's made a lot of difference. So anyone that buys one of these new, I recommend you just loosen the preloading screw and just so you have a little bit more or a little bit less loading on the rear spring, and that'll soften up the back for you very nicely. Oh, it's a big truck. I'll just pull over here. He's bigger than me, so he can go past. All the logging, doing all the logging. logging here. Had to breathe in for that one. I'm glad I wasn't in a car. Crossing the state border.